Hey everyone, this is Alex Milstein. I'm the editor-in-chief of Betting News Now, and this is Bet Ed Now, bite-sized bits of betting industry knowledge. Today, my guest is Gerry Borregginne. He's the CEO of Therapedic International, and he's talking to us about High Point Market. High Point has recently become a hub for mattresses in the last couple of years, and we're talking to Gerry about how that's going to progress. So thanks for joining me today. Wanted to talk about High Point Market. I think you're a pretty great person to gauge, where the mattress industry has been and where it's going. I'd love just, for nostalgia's sake, could you tell me a little bit about what did the High Point Market look like in terms of mattresses 20 years ago?
I think 20 years ago, it was much more robust
Hmm.
than it was now. But even 20 years ago, it wasn't that strong at High Point, candidly. It was kind of scattered, splintered around. Sealy had just come back to High Point because they established their headquarters close by in Archdale or Trinity. So they were showing at that market at their own location. You had a couple other guys, including Therapedic, who had showrooms, but we were scattered around. It wasn't that unified. Then the market tried to put us all in one container, so to speak, and that didn't work either. So High Point's had a troubled history with the mattress classification over the
Hmm.
last 20 years, very candidly. And
Yeah.
and at that same time is when Vegas came about, so it threatened it even further. And if not, it kind of eliminated it there for a good 5, 6, 7, 8 years. So High
Yeah.
Point, I think, is on the rebound. I think it's on the comeback trail in terms of mattress market.
And
And
why do you think that is?
I think the Vegas market is not as strong as it was.
Hmm.
That's pretty obvious. And I think there's a need for a market. There's a need for a betting market. The fact that all the furniture guys are in High Point twice a year, I think it's a logical extension that the mattress guys would end up there as well. So the big buyers are there. While Vegas maintains its posture as a betting market, so to speak, I think High Point is going to still maintain the mantle as the overall home furnishings market for the industry. And we're part of home furnishings.
Hmm.
So it'll be interesting to see how it evolves. I'm not predicting the end of a market, but I definitely am predicting evolution of sorts. And I think in that evolution, High Point will emerge erect.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I like that word evolution because it seems, even in just the past 2 years, it seems like there have been so many mattress exhibitors that have started showing in High Point. And maybe you can speak to this. I've also heard that while the Vegas market is great and it is the betting market, a lot of betting manufacturers need an East Coast market that some of, their East Coast customers can get to easier. And High Point just, really fits the mold for that. Are you hearing that as well?
Oh, yeah, I think, I really don't think that the betting category is big enough to have an East Coast and a West Coast and a Midwest. I think we do need a national market. I think it's better for the industry. It's better from a cost efficiency standpoint. It's very costly for companies to establish two markets 4 times per year, or
Yeah.
maybe three markets 6 times, per year if we go to another spot. There are a lot of little regional markets, and like Tupelo used to be one of the spots we went to. It's not any longer.
Hmm.
But you have other little spots. You have something. You had the Red Wing show in the Upper Midwest, and there used to be a Hot Springs, Arkansas show. There are a lot of little shows. So you have a Atlanta show, a Dallas show. So many shows
Yeah, there's a lot.
we can afford to really, and we don't want to go sort of like in a halfway basis. When we go to the market, we want to be there, full bore. We want to have our best face. So we try to do a really good job. Right now, we really focus on Vegas primarily, but I have a sentimentality for High Point. I've been going to High Point since I was a child. My father used to go to High Point. He was a buyer for a department store,
Hmm.
and I would hear his stories. And when we went into business in the late 70s, our family business, we started going to High Point. And so High
Yeah.
Point has, mental fondness for me, or I have for it. And I like High Point. I enjoy going to Vegas as well, but High Point, there's a sentimentality about it that I just enjoy the place.
Yeah. It's a very different market from Vegas, just in terms of buyers and in terms of the feel of the market. And so you guys returned to market last year for the first time in what was it, like 6 years?
I think it was 4 or 5 years. I don't, it's blending all together. It's all,
Yeah.
it was 2 weeks ago. No, it was. 5 years ago.
Right. Why was it the right time to return last year, and how
Well,
did the
we had an
market go?
opportunity. An opportunity presented itself for us to show. The truth of the matter is, it's probably still not cost efficient for us to go full bore with independent space and be there and be in Vegas the same way. And so here we had an option, and we did it again this year to have an option as an adjunct to someone's existing space where our product gets placed within their product that they're showing, and it makes it for a nice synergy, a nice combination. And that's where we ended up this year. And that's how we ended up at the atrium on Main Street. We're in the soundstage
Hmm.
space, which is on the second floor of the atrium. And the atrium is
Great.
about 3 blocks down the street, if you don't know, from the IHFC. Same
Hmm.
street in a really nice building. There's a shuttle that goes to it. It has a really robust attendance, that showroom. I've been in that showroom multiple times, or that theater
Hmm.
multiple times.
Yeah.
And we had some customers in that theater. We had some of our licensees have been there. In this case, Soundstage, which was a therapeutic license for seating and bedroom with
Hmm.
audio equipment attached to it. It's a really very high tech product, and it's kind of
Yeah.
nice. It's a luxury product all the way.
Hmm.
So based on that luxury product, we are going to show our own luxury line, the Tommy Bahama Home line. We're going to have 6 or 7 models there. And we're
Yeah.
excited about it because the Tommy line seems to all of a sudden have been rejuvenated, so to speak. We've had this line for over 12 years,
Hmm.
but we've only sold it regionally up until now. This year, starting in High Point, and then again in January in Vegas, we're going to expand the Tommy lineup
Yeah.
and make a full pitch to our retail base to take a good hard look at it. We think it's a very compelling story. It's a beautiful, beautiful product line. It's a comfortable product line. We have a few little tweaks of innovation, some micro coils, a new quilting design that we're doing. It's patented. That'd be pretty exciting. It's a good looking product, feels good. We're going to show a Tommy bed in a box there, which we've never really
Wow.
marketed before, and that's going to be at $9.99. We're also going to have a flat Tommy Bahama mattress. When I say flat, a regular construction that comes to the dealer, in its traditional form, wrapped flat in plastic, not compressed in a box. Going to top out, we have 2 models in the Tommy, what's called Tommy Bahama Ultimate, at $29.99. So between $9.99 and $29.99, we have a really nice luxury offering to show the retailer.
Yeah. Yeah. It sounds like it. Now, are all of these Tommy Bahama mattresses going to be new?
Some of them are in the line already. A
Okay.
couple of them are brand new. And then in January, we're going to tweak the line even further. We're going to extend it even further with another 6 newer models yet. So we're going to
Yeah.
show people some of the new stuff that's working, and we're doubling down on it by coming out with additional new models in January. So January, if you really like this Time Bahama line and you start to get some traction with it, we'll
Mhm.
have new things to show you in January as well.
Awesome. Okay.
It's
Well, yeah,
pretty
that's
cool.
very exciting.
I love this Tommy Bahama look. I love the look of it. I love the story to it. It's not labeled as therapeutic. It's just labeled as Tommy Bahama,
Yeah.
but it's made by therapeutic people in a therapeutic factory. So
Yeah.
it's got the credibility of mattress maker heritage.
Right, exactly. And I think the brand seems particularly appropriate for High Point. A lot of other home furnishings companies also do a licensing partnership with Tommy Bahama. So for you guys to bring that in really helps them round out that whole home feel and look. So just kind of some final thoughts. What do you think the future of mattresses at the High Point market looks like?
I think it's going to be strong. I think High Point is going to be a bedding market again over the next 5 years. It's going to increase. In 5 years, I think you'll see a very mature bedding marketplace at the High Point market.
Hmm.
I think things can be great. And I think your point, East Coast, West Coast, I don't know that everybody can afford to have 2 markets. So there's
Yeah.
going to be choices that are going to have to be made. And truth of the matter is, you fish where the fish are. There are a lot of fish on the East Coast markets.
Yeah.
So that's where the big fish are too. And our
Right.
West Coast markets are very mature and they're very strategic for us. But I think the East Coast has a bigger population, so it has a bigger marketplace.
Yeah. A lot of potential on the East Coast for sure.
Yeah, I think it's going to come back. And I think you High Point people get ready to be renting your houses out again because, well, us Yankees are going to be coming down there needing a place to stay.
That's right.
I'm looking forward to it. My son Kyle will be there at the market. He'll be manning the booth there. And again, we're at the atrium. The address of the atrium is at 430 South Main Street in High Point. So it's just right down the block from the IHFC. We're on the second floor. I think our space number is space 214, which is the soundstage space. I think it's a great synergy, these two companies. Soundstage, really cool product too. So when you come see us, you're going to want to see the soundstage guy. Joe Savovic is his name.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
terrific guy, terrific product, really nice space. And they had the therapeutic product there with Tommy Bahama this time around.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing it in person, Jerry.
All right, come see me. I'll be anxious to show you everything.
All
And
right.
thanks for having me on your show. I appreciate that too, Alex. Welcome
Yeah.
back.
Yeah. Thanks for coming
Thank
on.
you.